everybody. It's another episode of Table 13. Back with you is me, a wooden leg. We got Shady Ankle Bottoms.
And my children in the background somewhere, screaming
Yep.
upstairs.
And then we got Mr. E as well. And
That's
today,
me.
yes, that's him up there to the right. Shady is to my left. I am in the
I
middle.
am to his left.
Yes.
This has been your
It's direction.
educational direction show featuring Kyron.
Yes. And I didn't mess up this time. It only took me three takes. Today, Table 13 boys are going to be doing some Microscope, doing some lore building. It is a lore building system made by a company called Lame Mage, and specifically by who was it again? There, Mr.
Ben
Shane?
Robbins.
Ben
If you're out
Robbins.
there,
We know
love
you
you.
are.
Yes, we love you, and we are going to be doing an in-depth look at your system today on Table 13. And yeah, let's just jump right in. I'll switch us over to the notepad thing that we're using. What is it?
Oh, nice.
it's a Padlet. We
Padlet.
use So I'm gonna just give us a little bit of a
Hurry up.
frame of reference for those of you. Wow, just hurry up.
Woo!
Anyway,
There we go.
for those of you that have not heard me preach the gospel of Microscope yet, it is a role playing game that's very simple, and it's intended for essentially for world building, and it's sort of what it does is it takes world building and divides it among your people that you're playing with, and you're not playing a character, you're not playing a country or a race or anything like that. You're basically just your turns are putting stuff on a timeline in different places and tying stuff together. You sometimes will role play. There are sections where you sit down and you all choose characters in like a scene and play that scene out. But those aren't like your characters throughout the whole entirety of the game. What it does really well, and I think what makes it work as well as it does, is that it takes tropes and it sort of breaks them down because other people stick their fingers in it and mess it up. So it's not as cut and dry as the dwarves live in the mountain and the elves live in the forest and blah blah blah. blah. It's
Oh man, it's so much
a
fun to stick
wild
your...
mess, and Kyron kills everything.
Ah,
Basically,
yeah,
I
well,
bring
yeah.
a race in, I make a thing, and then Kyron's like, and they all die.
well,
So
it's at least in interesting ways.
And we got to
Yeah.
connect the dots,
Yeah.
and it's fun. But that is the cool part, is that you set an element of a timeline at a time. You don't like dictate a whole lot more than that, and then it kind of passes around, and other people get a chance to interact with that piece of story that you've made, and
Yep,
it's pretty cool.
it's really cool.
one thing that what you do is you basically use cards. If you're playing it like on a table in meat space, you use like little index cards, but we don't we only exist on the internet. We actually don't have physical material bodies. So what we use is Padlet, which I don't. It's not free, but it is like there's a free version of it where you can do a couple of them, but you have to like export them as images and delete them so that you don't like run out of space. You only have like three of them, but it's really powerful and good for this. It essentially lets you put little cards down and connect them together with arrows and fill out some stuff on them and change their colors and do different stuff like that. That helps with sort of the organizational timeline bit of this. And I've got my book up here so I don't screw anything up. But we're gonna kind of walk through the rules, kind of while playing and do the setup phase and get as far as we can into a game here on stream, and we'll probably continue this
Yes.
in the following weeks. Next week we have a special visitor, but after that we'll continue playing Microscope. But what are we on the?
What?
Like,
Oh,
am
here,
I
let me...
on the thing or?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
transmitting faces right now because it was just a blank screen. So I was...
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Padlet wall here that we're going to be using for the Microscope game. We got the big picture card, and that's the first one. Brett, if you want to go ahead and continue going through the how-tos and the what's not. Shady is the most versed in this game out of the three of us, I believe. I am
because I'm the
curious.
best.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why.
I
No
like
other
making
reason.
flow charts.
That's yeah.
I mean,
And-
that's kind of like what we're doing, right?
And I like
And we've all played this together before, so we all have an idea of what we're doing. So we'll try and make it as painless as possible for you. So essentially, the first thing that you do when you start this game is you do your first pass or your setup phase, whatever you want to call it.
right.
It starts with creating the big picture, which is essentially your world's thesis statement. And so that's what I've put the big picture up here for, but I've not actually filled it out. Um, what I think we sort of came up with one ahead of time because we had an idea of what we were building. Um, and that is essentially Terminal, which I haven't really determined anything about other than it's a post-apocalyptic Magitech world,
Yeah.
loosely based on like giant roaming robot things that threaten mankind and small little clumps of civilization that exist.
Yes.
So I think we sort of determined that it would make the most sense for it to be like, man tries to
Rebuild.
rehabilitate a broken world, or
Yes.
something like
Man
that.
tries to rebuild a broken world.
And it is, and that's the thing is, yeah, this first big picture thing, you want it to be very open-ended, and kind of, yeah, just like a sort of bullet point, one sentence gist of the timeline.
Yep.
Why didn't it stay?
Are we all clicking on it at the same time? and
Right.
moving stuff?
Who's filling out the big picture? Somebody take
One
the duty.
at a time, yeah.
Yep.
So who's
who's gonna
doing
do
it though?
That's what
I
this-
haven't touched
is
it.
that.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Then it just doesn't like Shady. I
Then
haven't
it hates
touched
me.
it. Wonderful.
Did it do it? It did it.
Yay.
Okay. So we've got our big picture down. That's essentially the whole thing is going to focus on that. That is our center of our world building today. So the next thing we do is we bookend history, which is so I'll explain sort of how it's laid out. There's three different types of cards that you put down. There are period cards, which are essentially like eras. Think of like the Iron Era, the Bronze Age, the freaking Industrial Era, whatever. Those things would be periods. They last hundreds or thousands of years, and a lot of different stuff happens in those. There are events that happen within those periods that you put down that essentially describe what happens over maybe a month or up to like a year or something like that. And then there are scenes that happen within those events that could happen in minutes or seconds or something like that. So what we do when we make the bookend history is we make the first and the last period that will exist in the world. We can't put anything before the first one or after the last one.
Real quick, I just want to acknowledge that I think we are, in fact, shaving Bags, as he
Yes.
set his goal too low, and it was met within about 30 seconds.
Yes.
So
maybe not on camera, but Bags will be shorn.
Shorn?
Shorn. Yes.
yeah, like a sheep.
Like a sheep. Yep.
Oh, I learned a word today.
Yep.
So what happened? I've missed the chat.
He said if 5 more people
Jesus Christ.
gift subscriptions, then or if 5 more subscriptions are given or whatever, then he'd shave, and
Oh my
And it
God.
happened.
and it
So,
happened thanks to Zeke about 2 sentences later. So good on
So,
Zeke.
Thank you very
I love
much,
you.
everybody, for
I would
yes.
never re-roll on your giveaway if I got you on it. All right. So what's our first? All these steps happen as kind of like a collective
Mhm.
decision. We all sort of figure out together what we want to do here until the first pass, and that's when we kind of go through and sort of do like a fake first turn to kind of flesh it out a little bit. Everything up to this point is collectively decided. So what is going to be our first period?
Let's call it the Crater Age,
The Crater Age.
or the Age of Craters.
All right. Is that
That
the
sounds like a bad mobile game.
Yeah, right.
All right.
This is the
Tell
very
me about
beginning.
the Age of Craters. What is that? Is that just like
So it would be the age right after the apocalypse that
Yeah.
broke the world.
Immediate
okay.
emergence.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I like that.
emergence?
Craters. The shipping crates.
Join the Age of Craters RPG mobile.
Brought to you by Amazon.
Yeah.
Because they ship stuff.
Type bomb in and get 20% off.
This episode is brought to you by Age of Craters. Shadow.
Mobile games.
Shadow.
We weren't paid to say that.
No, we actually we have no companies that are sponsoring us. So we got to make up our own.
It's more fun that way.
Absolutely.
I am.
They don't have
I am
as strict of
developing an
standards
app
either.
right now that is called Age of Craters.
Yep.
You just build like a crater empire.
And by
Sounds
development, it's a napkin on your desk with Age of Craters ?
That's it's as far as I've got,
Right.
but it's a work in progress. What is going to be the end of our bookends?
I guess like second golden age or
Ooh, it
yeah, something like that.
shouldn't
Not
put
golden, but
numbers on it either, because then we
I
can't
like-
have any golden
yeah,
ages
you can't
in
be
between.
a one in between
right?
it. But the
I like the idea of like the Great
age of
Awakening.
prosperity or something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's
Or,
good.
like, the
old
the-
tech or whatever they come across
We
is,
could-
is
Right.
finally
for,
being
for
utilized
alliteration
properly.
could be the Age of Cornucopia, because like cornucopia means means like,
That's not how alliteration works.
well, no, craters and cornucopia.
Oh, got
It's
it.
just like
okay.
the last one is Age of Craters. Our first one's Age of Craters. The last one's Age of Cornucopia.
What's cornucopia have to do with robots coming to life?
It's
just
abundance, sort
it's
of.
another word for abundance. I mean, cornucopia is a food horn. It's like a large basket that you
Symbol
stack
for
with food. Yeah.
bounty.
The age of large food horns.
Yeah. Large food horns
I like
full
that.
of food.
I'm calling it the Great Awakening, and you can eat a dick.
Here, I
All
will
the
zoom in here.
giant robots begin waking up. Which is, maybe that description will change as time goes on, just because it's kind of like a shitty description.
Yeah, right.
But
I like maybe like access or access to the lost tech or something to that. But whatever. All the giant robots waking up.
Ooh, that's
let's just leave
terrifying.
it blank
though.
for now, and we can
That's not
decide what the
good.
Great Awakening means when we
The
get there.
sentence doesn't work.
What
the
sentence?
giant robots begins waking up.
Yeah,
one
they
or
got
the
rid of
other.
them.
Okay, I'm
They're
sorry.
gone now.
It took a
There's
second. I apologize.
There's no terrible grammar anymore.
Anymore.
Good.
But
All right, so
yes,
the
I
next
like
thing
that.
that we do, we have our beginning, we have our end. We're starting with the Age of Craters, which sounds like basically like man scrambling to get their shit together, and then the end being some kind of positive or possibly very negative outcome as something awakens. The next thing we do is we make a palette. Basically, so this is a setting that you might consider like a magic punk or like an arcana punk. You might call it like a high magic post-apocalyptic. So what we're doing with the palette is taking things that we expect to see in this sort of weird magic world and banning them and saying no, we can't do that, and taking things you would not expect to see in the setting and saying yes, I want those things.
Yes.
So we start, and I don't know what's our order in the Discord, Karen.
It is me, Mr. E, and then you.
You.
Perfect.
Yep.
Alphabets.
So we'll start with you since you're at the top, and give me a ban or an ad to put on the list. When we do this in circles until somebody doesn't add one, and then we
Yes.
finish that cycle, and then we're done.
Yes. I am going to add crystal energy.
Okay.
So that's like a power source.
Yeah. Crystal
Anything?
power
Okay.
source. Yeah.
Whatever. I just wanted to make sure I understood the concept. That works.
Yep.
Shorter is probably better for that stuff. But that's and that's the thing is it's going to be, concepts that you guys all need to, or that everyone playing needs to understand. Crystal meth energy is solid as well.
It's my crystal power.
So now it's Eric's turn. What are you going to add or remove or ban?
I guess I would like to say that I suppose this is I think I've put this in every Microscope game that I put, but absent or like sort of uninvolved gods.
Okay, and that's an ad.
That would be no, like I guess whatever. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that would be an ad, or if you wanted to put it on in the negative side, it could be active or involved god.
Okay, right. I see what you're saying. But the point is that you want to not have gods that play a part.
Right. That is the goal. Yeah. That there aren't
firsthand
deities running around, choosing champions and shaping fate as it.
I would like to ban.
Yes. Ban.
Oh my god.
You can do it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
This is kind of a silly, weird one, but I don't know. God damn it. I'd like to add like a life-threatening illness.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a widespread, and this isn't I'm sorry if this hits too close to home with what's going on in the world right now, but it's sort of like, it just seems like it's fitting for a post-apocalyptic scenario. Something that's like
the environment is a threat sort of thing.
Right.
Okay.
All right, Kyron, ban something, damn it. Kill all my races.
I'm going to ban open air cities.
Open air what?
Open air cities. All cities are either underground or domed in some way. Open air.
Okay.
Like there is
open air cities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. I like that.
So that mod for Skyrim, where you don't have to load into the first town you go to. That mod is not allowed in this world. All right. No open air cities.
And then it's Mr. E's turn.
Mr. E.
Right. My ban would be interstellar travel.
Okay.
No space stuff.
So
well,
you mean
interstellar is
or
different
just
than
like
no
stellar
space
in
stuff.
general?
Yeah.
Well, I guess interstellar travel. I guess if we want to do like low satellite orbit shit where people are, the kind of just about where we are in advanced level, I'm cool with that. But I don't want to deal with building an entire universe.
I'm going to go one further, and I'm going to ban like humankind or mankind understanding the technology.
Ooh. Okay. Well, wait. So at all, ever, there's not going to be a point where they come to understand it in the end?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I mean, if that's okay with you guys,
No,
I think that part of it is like the mysteriousness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could come close to it. They could understand how to harness it, but they wouldn't know how to build it or replicate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So replicating, or maybe rather than understanding.
Yeah.
I guess if as long as we know what we're talking about, that's all that matters. Can you make all the boxes the same size?
No, I'm going to make them all different sizes.
Love it.
No, I'll make them all the same size for you,
Eric. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing it while you're typing, and it's going to screw stuff up.
That's one thing about this is we'll end up spending more time lining boxes up than actually producing content. So I apologize.
Right, that will happen a lot. There's going to be.
I'm going to
moments
put a couple of boxes in here that we will use as we play that I'll explain when we get to them.
Yes.
What's the other one? What's the other one called? Little Frig. I
Huh?
don't
What?
remember what they're called. What is
Focus?
not
Okay.
focus? The things you legacies. Thank you.
Legacies.
Thank
I
you
didn't
for
do.
all of your help.
Did we?
Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
Glad
Happy
we
to
were
be of
there for you.
service.
Okay, so we'll just put these boxes up in here, and those will be things I explain as they become relevant. But our next step here is to do the first pass, which
Yep.
starting with Chiron, we will all add a period or event, and we'll do that through the circle of us, and then we start playing after that.
Yep.
At this point is when you stop making group decisions. Everything that's
Mhm.
added at this point, you cannot help each other, give each other ideas, or any of that stuff. You can't veto anything unless it breaks one of the rules you've set out. Um,
So
but
you're not supposed to collaborate. If somebody's struggling to come up with an idea and this is really tough for me, you are not supposed to help them. Like
you're better off
basically
skipping
just
them if
Yeah.
they can't come up with
yeah,
something.
because otherwise you defeat sort of the purpose of the game, which is that each person kind of gets to individually impact and direct, the sort of development of the world, and that you get that more chaotic feel because each event is in a way disconnected, I guess, because it's created by a different person.
Yes. So I guess
All
starting with me, right?
Starting with Chiron.
All right. So an age and an event.
Is that, are we?
Age or
Yeah.
event.
Or age or event. Okay.
Oh, this is, first pass.
Yep.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to do. Oh, and then also you didn't explain each event or scene is either positive or negative as well.
Right.
Oh, I don't even do
yeah.
that.
Yep.
I don't even do that anymore.
Oh, well,
It's
okay.
kind of hard
Yeah.
to determine, and they change. But by
What
the
you're
way the
supposed
game
to
is
do by
supposed
the
to
game.
structure, yeah. Go
Right.
ahead.
When you put an event or a scene or a period in, you determine whether that is a positive or negative thing, and they're either a light event or a dark event. I personally try to stay away from that because a lot of stuff that you make is kind of a mix of good and bad things, and I forget to do it half the time, and so then we end up backstepping 3 or 4 turns and assigning whether things are light or dark. Because it really doesn't matter in my opinion, whether something was a good or a bad thing, because you can see all the things that sort of happen because of it by looking at it, and then you can make the decision for yourself. It's sort of like alignment in D&D or whatever,
Yeah.
in that
It means as much as you want to limit it to, basically.
right,
Like, it's not. It doesn't have. Yeah, there are good things that are going to have negative consequences, and so on down the line, like vice versa, and whatever. And that's what I was saying. Yeah, they'll shift sometimes when you're like, well, actually, this seems like it's now really a bad thing because of what happens as a result of this discovery, or blah blah blah. So
which
like
I feel
it's
really just
you know
pulls you away from the world building
right.
and puts you more into like arguing semantics, which is
Hmm.
what we need to try to avoid in situations like this. We do pretty good together, but I've run into situations in the past where there's some like minor disagreements about things like that really don't make a big difference.
Right.
Kratikin, Kratikin mages, I like that.
Kratikin is solid. So, this
Give me a second.
is Kyron's edition here. Oh, did you discuss the like? Oh, well, we're not lenses and whatnot yet. Never mind. I keep forgetting. This is the first pass.
Yeah, so what he's doing, it looks like he's making an event that happened within the Age of Craters.
Yes.
And so essentially with an event, you'll put down like what is the headline of this event, and then sort of describe, and you'll talk more like amongst each other about what you're doing to sort of discuss it. But um, the um, you basically just write down stuff so that you have an idea when you're looking back at it what it is. So the defeat of the last Titan. Bradley Toppin and his team of Kratikin mages destroyed the last Titan Vishta. Now at this point, we don't know what that is.
Yep.
We don't know what a Titan is, and we don't know who Brad Toppin is or what Kratikin mages are. But those things are all things that exist now that we can expand upon. Um, so the next person in the list is Eric.
Sir.
If it would
Oh,
be a
right.
period or an event.
Let's see here. I am going to put so period, yeah, is the top stuff. I would like to do a it's going to be a period, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Ooh. Racism.
Just right off the bat.
Perfect. Delete that thing.
Can't have a
Oh,
microscope
sorry.
game without
Sorry, I don't want-
racism. Let me
Or-
tell you.
Like genocides. How many genocides happened in the?
How many of them were all Kyron?
That hey.
All of them. I'll give you a
Hey.
hand.
I know. I came up with one. I came up with it because I didn't like the elves being a big part of it. So I was like, how did all the elves die?
Murdered them. Nice.
All right. So that is a period.
Yes.
What he just made is a period, and so
Mhm.
that's a very long period of time.
Yeah, so it's going to be a whole bunch of time, apparently, where the elves are in this position. That's
Great.
kind of
Right.
the idea.
So we've basically established at this point that there are at least humans and elves in this world.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
And magic.
let's see. I am going to
Right. And Bradley Toppin.
Badly tapped.
Bradley Toppin.
Oh, BT.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sexy.
Nice.
Oh no. Oh
Poor
no.
Bradley.
Poor Bradley.
I mean, he got a promotion, but also not so great. Because, I mean, he was an archmage yet. But,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah, wait until it's all the way written out. I'm assuming this is an event, it seems
Yeah.
like.
And also something you, if you play Microscope, you got to keep in mind, if he puts the event in the Knife Your Subjugation period, it means that either the defeat of the last Titan was at the end of the Age of Creators, or Bradley Toppin ended up being very, very old.
Very, very old. And that is, yeah, something to, okay, yep, that's what he did.
All right.
So that does, yeah, impact things. Because, yeah, what you were saying for ages is like thousands of years or more than that?
Right.
Hundreds
Yeah.
to thousands.
Hundreds to thousands, okay.
So I mean, that could that very well could happen at the end of the Age of Creators, and this could happen
Right.
at the beginning of the Knife Your
Seems
Subjugation.
like
Or
the defeat of the last
Bradley
Titan
could
might
become
be
a
later.
goddamn immortal. You know, who knows?
Mhm. Well, we got like Magitech stuff involved, so he
Yep.
could, yeah, get into some sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you listening at home and not watching, the Kratikan Mutiny is what I added. The Kratikan mages turn on the Archmage Bradley and use him in a ritual to ward off the gatekeepers.
Ooh, the
Ooh.
gatekeepers. I didn't even catch that.
Yep, that's a
Need
new
to find
thing.
out what the gatekeepers are.
But
And that's
yeah, so
the-
that's
that's the thing here.
that's our first pass. If
Mhm.
there were more players, you'd get more stuff. But honestly, I've played this game just one on one with somebody actually Freddie last week, and it was a lot of fun. It's really cool to because you're very very closely building stuff. But at this point, we move on to actual gameplay.
Yes.
This is setup is done. So we start by the first lens is going to be a wooden leg. if you're sitting at home, you could start with whoever starts and then just go around the table to the left. In Discord, when I'm playing this, where we exist on the internet, we start with the first person in the channel and just work our way down. And if it's the person to the right of you, instead of the left, then it'd be the person above you. So there are some things that sort of go in reverse order, and we'll get into that more as we do these things. But there we go. It was not even. So we'll start with Chiron. The turn and how it works. If you are the lens, you determine a focus. Lens is just a silly word for the guy whose turn it is. So if you say Chiron chooses, what are you going to choose as your focus?
The Kratikin
Kraken
mages.
mage.
Okay, so he chooses the Kratikin mages as his focus. Everything we play this turn has to do with the Kratikin mages in one way or another. It doesn't have to happen in order or near anything else. It could happen at the end. It could be a whole new period. It just has to deal with the Kratikin mages.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chiron, since
your
he's the
event's going to
lens,
include that noun, basically,
Yep.
that you
Right.
make the focus.
Since it's Chiron's turn and he is the lens, he is going to put in two nested things. So either a period and an event nested within that period, or an event with a scene nested within that event. And then it will pass to the next person in order, and we'll go all the way around back to Chiron, and Chiron will do that again.
Yep.
I
When
believe
it's
you
my
can
turn,
only do one if you want, right? You're not like
yeah, you don't
obligated.
have to do two.
Yes, but they have to be nested. You can't do one and
Right.
then another one somewhere else.
But after Chiron's entries, it'll go to Eric, and Eric will make one entry, and it can be a period, event, or scene. And then it will go to me, and I'll make a period, event, or scene, and then back to Chiron, where he'll make two nested ones again. So, Chiron, tell us about the founding of the Kratikin.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a description here. I'm thinking that they found some technology that they incorporate into using magic.
Okay. They're able to manipulate or whatever. And is that all right, so mages exist already at that point, basically. Like they're
Yes.
not like the people who came
Right.
out and were like, "Oh yeah, magic."
No, yeah, there'd be.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, from before the collapse, even. I like.
Mm.
Group of mages from before the collapse discover how to re-access the leftover technology, becoming. Dun dun dun. Does that increase the pressure any kind?
Yes.
Can I like
actually.
read out what you're typing
Thank you.
immediately? Becoming the most powerful magic users on the planet.
Perfect. Assuming that goes
Yep.
between. Okay. All right. So yeah. So it looks like some mages from before the whole thing. Is there some stuff not lining up for you on here? I'm gonna reload just
No.
in case,
It's
because
good.
you keep dragging it over into
Yeah.
the middle of the thing. Okay. Whatever works. Anyway. So yeah. Some mages from before. The apocalypse.
And then I'm going
Find
to
some
do
leftover technology.
a scene.
Okay.
Oh boy. Get started with that.
Scenes
Well, it's not going to
are
be role played.
Okay.
scenes are broken into two different types of scenes. There are acted or played scenes, I believe they're called, and dictated scenes. And every scene, Chiron, is a question.
Right. Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Every scene is displayed as a question. So basically, you're answering something.
Like
So
Jeopardy.
how did the blah blah blah? And then I'm only giving this as an example because to help describe to you guys, but normally you wouldn't want to do this to try and steer what they're doing. So the it looks
There
like
you go.
Chiron's putting down how did the Kratikin mages open the blue vault?
Yeah,
And
it
then
would have to
if
be
he's
the
making a
Kraken.
dictated scene, he would just tell you how they did it. And this would be something small like minutes or hours or days. That's what makes a scene a scene. There's also an acted or a played scene where you would actually all pick players or characters and sort
It's
of
real fun.
role play it out. Um, that sort of thing is not made for every scene. Some scenes just don't. They're not interesting as a role play session. But you can really open up some very strange um, results or resolutions by role playing it because other people are in it helping create unanswered questions or you know do something that impacts what happens later in that scene. So
We leave
those are
you
really
hanging
powerful.
in a closet. Yeah, because they're just hiding out in a closet while they actually clean
Right.
up their kitchen or something. Kyron.
What?
Oh boy.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. So the mages used a piece of the Titan's heart to override the security mechanisms of the vault. Um, Now I'm gonna do this thing where I shrink them down and move them side by
Mhm.
side, so you'll stop fucking with it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There. All right. So that is a scene. He's created an event and a scene, and that makes it Eric's turn. And he just makes one thing. He doesn't do the nested situation like Kyron does. He will on his turn when he's the lens. He will do that, but
Alrighty. So, let's see. Da-da. Tempted to do the scene of the how did they defeat the last Titan, but
Ooh.
I don't think I want it. That's, we can leave that out for a bit. Let's figure out a little more about old Bradley and whatnot. But I think I will start with an event.
the humanity core. I love putting that like corpse with the period at the end
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as a faction thing. It's great.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll leave it with that, I suppose.
Nice. All right. Where you putting that bad boy?
We'll go after the Kratigan mages are founded. But before, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it before the founding of the Kratigan mages.
Okay.
I
All
suppose.
right. All right.
I hate to be the guy, but does how does that relate to the Kratigan
Gotcha.
mages?
It doesn't. You're right. I broke it.
Damn it.
Okay, let me try again.
I guess part of the reason why we do that, and that's not, I'm not harping at you, Eric, but for the audience, the reason why that is done, I think, is to try and put some direction as to your world building, so you don't just end up with 45 different things that don't relate
Right.
at all, just kind of making a mess out of your world.
Right, and leaving loose ends all over the place or whatever. I think. So instead, we will go with. Fuck. Then I guess we're gonna have to go with the other one that I had as a backup here. Is the scene.
Okay.
And I think that we can do this as an acted scene, probably,
Ooh.
All right.
since we probably want to get one of those in here at some
Yeah.
point.
Okay. So
So yeah, I forget how that works exactly.
a played scene
Played
operate, and
scene.
I always have to look this up because it's a bit of a process. But the first thing you do is you state the question, which we have done. How did the Kratikan mages destroy the last Titan? So then step two is that Eric will set the stage. Basically, when does it happen? What sort of things do we know about the scenario that we need to keep in mind while role playing this part out? Um,
And
where,
also,
why, what just happened, or
and
what's
who?
next?
And who is
Yeah, like the roles or
the
whatever, right?
roles?
Right. That's after the set the stage thing.
So
Basically, we just sort of like it sounds like we, the people that destroy the last Titan are the Kratikan mages. The last
right.
Titan appears to be some sort of negative power or force that's on this world, possibly remnants from what happened from the apocalypse, or something new that has sprung up since then. And there's evidently some sort of conflict between people and these things. We know that they do defeat him, and we have to keep that in mind
I'm
as we
going to
play.
change destroy to subdue, though,
Ooh,
actually,
yeah.
Okay.
because I don't like the idea that they outright. Oh, I guess it says destroy in the other one, so never mind.
Okay. Um, Once we have reviewed those facts and sort of, we're all on the same page so that nobody is under the impression that something else is going to happen, we choose our characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so that starts with the person above Eric.
Right. So
So
as far as
Kyron will
setting
pick
the stage here,
you.
though, sorry. Oh, did you want to do that first? Sorry.
No, he's got to, in setting the stage, he has to tell us the characters he needs and the characters he
That's
doesn't
that's
want.
that's step three, the choose character step.
Okay.
Require and ban characters. So the first thing before Kyron selects a character, Eric will describe what characters he requires to be in here and what characters he does not want to see in the scene.
Yep.
So, I guess starting with setting the stage, we will be, I think, probably just outside of um, sort of a humanity holding of some variety that is being set upon by this Titan, which I'm assuming is some sort of monolithic, destructive, like robot type thing going on. And it is, nearing a large concentration of humanity, which is why the Kratikan mages are, making this sort of stand to try and finish this last one off, I guess.
All right. All right.
All right. So who are you requiring and banning as characters?
I am going to require Bradley Toppin and the Titan,
Okay. Are you
Oh,
banning anybody in
Vishna.
particular?
I don't have any bands in mind. Ah, ooh, okay. I think I would like the other person to be an elf.
Okay.
okay.
Not necessarily any specific elf, but that someone here is an elf.
Okay.
Maybe Bradley Toppin's an elf. I don't know.
All right, Kyron. Kyron starts and chooses a character.
I'm going to do the Titan.
I figured you
Damn it.
would.
I want
Kyron's
to be
destructive
the
nature.
Titan. Being the thing is so cool. It's
Yep.
so fun.
I'm going to play um, Veleron. He is an elf um, member of something called the Humanity Corps.
Okay. And then that leaves me with Bradley Top. Okay. What's the next step again? I forget.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
do we
sorry.
just
Once we have chosen characters, we then reveal our thoughts, our characters' thoughts, starting back
right?
with Kyron again. Essentially, what that means is like You don't want to reveal thoughts that answer the question, but you want to reveal what your character is going to do or highlight what your character expects to happen. Their thoughts on the scenario and just some kind of little bit of like a deeper insight into who your character is.
So I'm playing the ending thing, right? The Titan isn't a character; it's the Force.
It is in a way. I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty much going to be the time limit,
The
though.
time limit, yeah.
That
And
is
that's
the
the
time
other
thing.
thing. Yeah, you can select the environment as a. Sorry,
As a
Brad, if you want to.
character.
Yeah, you can essentially, and I don't know where it talks about this, but kind of what we, what I've gleaned from it in playing before is that somebody can play the force, a destructive force or time limit or time constraint. Excuse me, that causes the players to act. And as time moves on, that player will essentially draw nearer and nearer or more and more dangerous, causing them to, be pressed for time. To give it that like sort of um like emergence,
Yeah. So the Titan is malfunctioning and is trying to, uh, rather than protect human settlements, destroy them.
I like that.
Okay. Velinor is he's a recruit. He's a new kid. He doesn't really agree with the silencing of these big robots. And he actually is a part of what he's doing to try and have a hand in doing it right and in a way that doesn't destroy them. I think he sees them as sort of like fixable, as the protectors of old, and the reason why they're still here, to some degree because of how they used to protect
It's kind of like
humanity in
on
the
some
past.
Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
He's like a protector of the planet. He just doesn't care about people so much. It's probably less like I don't know, whatever. Felt like a good one. It's probably less accurate the more you think about it. Then to Bradley. Bradley is looking to uh, basically establish the prominence and influence of the Kratikan mages through any means necessary. And this is sort of the last, it's kind of the last big easy event like that. Well, easy is probably not a great word for it, but it's the best available option to kind of try and get a public saving the world thing happening that he can kind of get yeah people to like the idea of the Kratikan mages and him in particular. So definitely less concerned about um, maybe the fallout or unintended consequences of stopping this threat by whatever means are available, kind of thing.
Okay. All right. So now that we've established our characters, um, essentially what we're aiming to do in this scene is answer the question: how did the Kratikan mages destroy the last Titan? We'll play until we determine what that is, and then kind of take what we learned from that and sort of make a description based off of it. You have to keep in mind that during this time you can't change something or contradict something that is happening in the future. So
Right.
for my guy to go and kill Bradley, would be not something that we can do. I can't backstab him because he's alive. I mean, it technically could happen because it's magic. In the
Right.
world, rules don't you know
But
ban
the thing
resurrection
is, you
people.
can't do something in the scene to override something that happens in the future. You can do
Right.
something that makes it harder for that thing in the future to be pulled off, but it still has to happen. Nothing you can do can change the things that have already been laid down in the future.
Right.
Perfect. All right. So then, that being said, Eric, basically walk us into it.
All right. So, as was stated, the Titan, which I think is like two parts generator and one part like physical guardian of some variety, uh, yeah, has started to malfunction in some way, shape, or form. and is turning its against its normal directive of saving or maintaining this human colony here, and is now like uh, threatening it in like a physical manner, like is walking around breaking and busting up stuff. Um, I think this has probably been happening on the edges of this colony for a while, um, but it's sort of a slow moving process, and I think that the Kratican mages have collected, or Bradley has gathered together a team of you know, I guess a few other individuals probably outside of himself and was it Valoran?
Right.
Who
Valoran.
are Velron. So this is working with the Humanity Corps. It sounds like, who are probably more of a like standard legitimate government type uh, group, and and we are sort of venturing out from the heart of the city toward this edgeland where where the Titan is kind of kept in a crater on the other next to the town, and it's probably messing up a whole bunch of slum villages and stuff like that.
How big is the Titan?
I am picturing probably like 100-ish feet tall, like pretty big, but
So
not
some like
like
Shadow of Colossus
Godzilla.
shit.
Yeah, probably. I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure on the scale there. That's probably right though.
Okay.
Right then, I guess start with Bradley here. Right then, Velron. You lot with the Humanity Corps, you've all got the teams ready to stop fires, whatever spreading from the outskirts here before it gets into the important people, right?
Yes, I've got. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Titan.
Yes, I've got teams located at several different locations. They've got different the tools to keep that kind of thing from spreading. Look, we can't destroy this thing. We have to
Well,
get it out of the town.
you have you have a plan
I
in
hate
mind to
this.
keep that from heading in further into the heart of the town then? And he kind of looks over.
Well,
He's
I wasn't
like,
really prepared for this. I've kind of this wasn't what I expected to be doing today. We have plans started to try and harness this thing and use it in a constructive manner, but not nothing concrete enough to actually do it. Could mean more damage to the city.
well, the more power we've taken from it, the angrier it seems to have gotten. And those
Jesus.
sounds are just awful. I've
The
got
worst.
teams with ordnance here ready to manage this. I'm not certain what other solutions are available.
Look, we've determined that it seems to be, it seems to be attracted to large bits of magical energy. Do we have anything that we could use, sacrifice for a good cause to try and drive it away?
Kind of scratches the back of his head and probably flips through like a I don't know, some sort of, say, data pad, because why the fuck not? And scrolls through a list. He says, well, we have gotten ourselves pulled together with what is it, fuck, what are we gonna call it? Nether site here, large shipments of the crystals, what we've produced from the power we've been able to draw from it. Definitely seems to have been going straight for the storehouse of that first, and point over to one of the first big smushed up buildings that was a large like storehouse of nether site, I guess it's called. It does seem like it is interested in in whatever it is that's made from it. Um, do you have a means or method in mind to transport it in a direction away from the town in an efficient manner here?
Well, we've got. I mean, we've got some. I don't know. They have cars. I think they have
Sure.
cars or some
Yeah.
kind of
I've got
variant
a
of that.
data pad.
That's fair. Data pad. But we've got some a couple extra hovercrafts available that we could load with it, but I don't know that you could stick enough netherite in there to actually draw it away from the town. There's a lot more here than there is in the trunk of a car.
Kills me, man, every
I like to
time.
think that I like to think it's just Kyron's dog, like, just howling.
He's just mic'd up, yo. Man. Just take him outside, Karen.
Jesus.
Gosh. No. But yeah, well, it's getting closer to the town. If we have God, it does sound like a dying whale. If we've got a well, there's teams of people we could send back, I believe, where with my ordnance set up and ready to be blown if it does cross the out of the slums. But I think we could get some people ready to go grab as many of these hovercrafts as we can manage and fill them all up. Perhaps there's a demo truck or a garbage truck or something around.
He takes a look around and a larger, like, moving van or something.
Ooh.
He walks over to it and holds out a badge, some kind of identification. And he's having what appears to be a somewhat like forced, like stern conversation with this person before basically commandeering it. Um, and he orders a couple of folks to jump in it and points around the town and then and walks back. All right, I've got something a little larger than a hovercraft, and god damn it, I'm tired of hearing that.
It is rather piercing in the ears.
um, but
What-
remember, unless it crosses, you know, do not use, and this is an order from the Humanity Corps. Do not use lethal force against this thing unless it crosses out of the slums.
Odds. Well, sure. I've got teams here dragging in, every hovercraft they can find and every means of gathering up whatever nether site we can in the area. They should be here with nearly a ton within, well, shortly at least. And then I imagine there's like a small crew of Karatigan mages that are dashing about.
Just for the people who can't see our faces, Kyron has a cup up to his face and he is
Oh my
squealing into it.
god, it's so good. Like
Terrible.
solid. Even more like Godzilla than I thought.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrifying, really.
Gotta get that
Um,
base and loosen the strings up and run a leather glove across it.
so yeah, I guess we send the a fleet of cars to get Nethersite
Mm-hmm.
and send them out
They're
of the town
gathering that
limits.
all together. Yeah, I think they'd all probably just gather it into one location so we can load it all up onto this this moving van that you've requisitioned. And I think Bradley would say, right, well, I believe it'd be best if I drive. That'd be, I'm clearly the most suited to handle whatever, sort of endeavor this is that we're embarking upon.
Yeah,
Sort of puffs his
clearly,
chest out.
clearly. Yes, I will join you. And he hops in the passenger side and yeah, just
I think we
eagerly awaits you doing your thing.
hops in and starts it up. I think he probably leaves orders with a few of the Kratigan mages that should this not work to blow all the bombs the second it steps outside um the slums, and then we set off sort of skirting around the slums toward the I guess away from the town itself.
So how does the Titan react to this, Aaron?
Is that in our direction or
Yeah, which direction is that in?
you can use words?
Sorry, I have to get rid of the voice modulation so that my voice doesn't go
Oh.
all echoey.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the Titan starts marching towards the next site that you are, another site that you're leaving with from the town.
Well,
oh, so he does start chasing
Yes.
us.
it seems like it's working. Now what? As we're like driving away.
I thought this far ahead, but I don't really have a plan for this. We have to keep it contained. We cannot let it get back into the town, but we cannot destroy it. What are your thoughts? You and your mages. What exactly is it that you can do
Well,
to help?
well, we're best suited for blowing shit up, really. But if that's not our aim, then I imagine that there is some sort of method in which we could maybe use this nether site to, I guess, overload it and perhaps put it into some sort of hibernatory state.
Is that something that you can do? I mean, the only way we
Well,
could think to do something like that requires a lot of infrastructure, and we don't have that kind of time.
probably like kind of grip, flex the hands on a metallic glove, mechanized glove thing that he's wearing, and some sparks fly out of it. He says, I believe I am able to alter the composition and state of this in many ways. This should be no more complicated than that. And he'll give probably a smile and nod that's less confident than you'd probably want, um, as he guns it for a bit till we can get to a place where we're far enough away that he thinks he has some time to mess with the nether site and back, and then comes to a screeching halt and hops out of the moving van thing, flips open the back, and just extends his hands toward it, and a bunch of different gears and sparks gears start running on his sorted sort of mechanized garb here, I think, and various lights flash and sparks fly as the nether side too is probably starting to glow and react and stuff as he's kind of in a trance like state as he tries to manipulate the energy here. I assume that he's probably able to do something like what he thinks he's trying to do before too terribly long, unless
Okay.
unless the Titan catches us.
Can you hurry up? It's getting closer.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Saying that just breaks my concentration, which really only slows the process down. And
Right, and arguing with me about it probably doesn't speed it up either.
And then goes back to it and starts I guess like furrowing his brow and probably sweating a bit as he continues to mutter and wave hands. And then eventually I think the another sight turns from a rich ruby red to sort of an off like sickly green color. And he says, well, if it's going to work, I think we are done. We ought to get here as far away as possible, because I am, like I said, much more practiced in making bombs. And yes, it probably starts like booking straight away from the moving van.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll do this. He'll do the same. He kind of scuttles up behind you.
think we get to a vantage point of some variety, probably, and watch the oncoming fireworks. Hopefully, as the Titan makes its way to the fucking nether site.
I think Veleron looks on in horror, um, thinking that this was going to just sort of be like a power draining situation, but it really just looks like a big old bomb.
Yep.
You know?
Well,
Yep.
there is a chance of that, of course.
The Titan goes to inspect the nether site, and I think it's trying to consume it, and it explodes in a horrible explosion.
Oh, good.
And thus was the this is great. Stop. And thus was the beginning of or was the
And
the
so
creation of
was
Titan's grave.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Oh, that's fucking
New
awesome.
I
Crater
didn't do that.
City.
I didn't do that. I totally didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen because that's breaking the rules. You wouldn't
Right.
do that.
Right.
But obviously, it happens sometimes, and there's nothing that says you can't break those
Right.
rules. It's like jazz.
It's just
You
like
know,
jazz.
you got to know the rules before you can break them.
Which is just an excuse for
Us to cheat,
know,
yeah.
for us to cheat.
Right.
All right. So basically, that's sort of the thing. It is a little weird when you include somebody who's playing time, which Kyron very
Yes.
eloquently demonstrated by making whale noises the entire time.
That was
Yeah.
my best role playing work to date.
He's a fully master, really.
Yes.
Essentially, his intent was to create some sort of um, sort of pressure, and he also played the part of a character, kind of determining how it interacted and stuff like that. But so Eric's typing up essentially what we just discovered, and these types of acted scenes or played scenes, whatever they're called, um, are good for stuff like this, or like really RP heavy stuff, like people discussing what they're going to do about a problem, who acting out an assassination on somebody, or something like that. And here we've determined things beyond what he could have just determined by dictating the scene. Um, thing of that I'm not going to elaborate too much because I don't want to create a spin in a direction for other people, but I do have an idea of what I'm going to do next.
Nice. After Eric gets done writing this scene, we should take a break.
Okay, doke.
All
And we'll
right,
come back,
so
finish the turn, and probably
Yep.
just call it good at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
so Bradley Toppin and Velron were able to lead Vishna outside of the colony with a truckload of nether site after Bradley manipulating the nether site and blowing that shit up. That's not a
Nice.
functional sentence.
No,
which
you're
I'll
just
touch up
messing the
afterward, but-
yeah the tense is all screwed up, but it's okay.
But if you guys are enjoying what we're doing, feel free to hit that bell if there is one. I don't know if there's a bell on Twitch.
There
but
is.
Hit the follow button. If somebody hasn't already bought you a subscription, fucking subscribe to this
Right.
this garbage.
This nonsense.
We've got our Discord listed below, where we all hang out and be friends. There's all sorts of games around our community, and there's video game areas and stuff to talk about.
I'm
minis,
transmitting
blah, blah,
faces
blah,
again,
this and that.
guys. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Thanks for the
So-
Hello.
warning.
I had to put my shirt back on real quick.
I wasn't picking my nose.
So that we also do a bi-weekly podcast. We do this thing every Thursday. We do a bi-weekly stream on Monday. That's run by our very own Kyle West. And Bags is in it too. So if you get Bags over here being good old grandpa give a subscription. You come watch him play a staunch fucking paladin.
Yeah.
In our Monday game. If you like what we do enough to throw us money on something other than Twitch that takes half of it, you can go to our Patreon, and we do a monthly giveaway. We have other little rewards you can get and stuff like that. You can see it all on there. It's all sort of listed out. And pledge to us there.
Yeah.
Other than that, all we want from you is your friendship and your
Mhm.
loving embrace. But we're going to go
Maybe
to a
some
break
D and
now
D games.
and
Or
make
some-
D&D games. I mean, I'll take either the loving embrace or the D&D games. But we're gonna go for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna
10
come
minutes.
back and finish this bad boy up.
Yes, sir.
We might end up going past midnight. If
We're probably
finish
gonna
it.
end
Yeah.
up going past midnight.
Just a little bit, but it's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back. 10 minutes, guys.
Bye.
Bye. We are back. Hello.
We're back. Welcome back
Hello.
to the world.
This is our world, and we're back in it now.
Woo!
I believe it is
Good one.
Shady's turn.
It is my
Yes.
turn, and I'm going to fuck up your Kratikin mages a little bit.
Oh, do it. I've moved us back to the Padlet board, so you may remove your pants again.
Well, I mean, you can't see that I don't have pants on.
Ah,
really.
yes. I noticed
It's all
that
about
you
camera angles,
didn't
folks.
get up out of the chair,
Mhm.
blocking your camera. So, ooh,
Like that.
mm-hmm.
Following the destruction of what's his name, Vishna.
Vishna.
Yeah.
Vishna, Velron appears before the Humanity Core Great Court and
Tribunal.
makes a case against Bradley for his insubordination to Humanity Core interests, or against whatever.
Nice.
I don't know if that's an actual sentence, but whatever.
I understand what you mean.
The court rules that the mages are a liability and are exiled.
Nice.
Mm.
Where's that going?
Right after the defeat of the last Titan.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then I'm gonna do my last thing, right?
Yep, you do your last thing, which is
Yeah.
the nested thingies.
Yes.
It's either an event or wait, period and an event, or
Yeah.
event and a
And
scene.
then scene. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. Huh. I
Oh,
kind
it's
of like
after
that.
the knife fear subjugation.
Yeah.
Breeding pits. Oh boy.
Mm. I didn't do anything that had to do with breeding pits.
That's a new thing.
Okay.
What?
Loves
All
him
right.
some breeding
No, we
pits.
talked about breeding pits before. Don't make me weird.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about breeding pits before. I'm just a weirdo.
Loves him some breeding pits.
I mean, what's life without breeding pits, right?
Exactly.
Aaron, we are on the page, right? On the
Yes,
Padlet?
we are. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
It's 2020. Who wears pants?
I wear 2 pants.
Legit have
One for my
not
top
worn.
half and one for my bottom half.
I haven't worn socks in like 2 weeks.
Some
I
of
only
us
wear
still have to go to work,
shirts.
Eric. God damn it.
I only wear. Hey, man, I go to work. It's like
Right there.
6 inches from my bed. Maybe 8. Depends on how close the chair is on the given day.
So, okay, you created the Age of Kratikin rule after the emancipation of
Yep.
the elves from their breeding pits. You fucking weirdo. The Kratikin mages overthrow their human lords. They're the human lords. Okay.
Oh, human lords is a thing. Why you do this?
Why do I do what?
You're like dragging stuff over it.
One of us has something wonky going on with our like, because they're all lined up for me, and then you move them and unalign them for me.
Okay.
There we go.
So
Fair
it's
enough.
like hell over here because
Mm-hmm.
the two of us that are just
Yep. Very
horrible
bothered
about
by
like.
this. I will stop. You do what you do.
No. It's good. I'll just leave it to be a mess.
So that's what I did. The Age of the Kratikin rule. They emancipated the elves and overthrew the human lords, and then someone named the Great Devourer, Karl von Hammersmith, is born to a secret Kratikin cult.
Okay.
I like that the Kratikins are cults now. This is good.
Yeah.
There's a secret cult within the
Yes.
Kratikin.
Within the Kratikin,
Right.
yeah, society, there's a secret cult.
Are they Democratican?
Yes.
Heyo.
Yes, they are. All right.
All right.
So yeah, do we want to end it there?
We will, but we
finish
will
off the
do the
turn
legacy
here, okay?
first.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So the person above you, which would be
Just
me,
you. Yep.
chooses something. This is the last bit of the turn. The turn's over. Kyron's thing is over. And next it'll be Eric will be the lens, and he'll choose a focus, and we'll do the same thing starting with him. You know, he would do the 2 things. Then we'd each do a thing, and then he'd do 2 more things with a new focus. But what you do at the end of every turn is the person above the person who is the lens, or to the right if you're sitting around a table, chooses something that was brought into play this turn, and like a noun, an item, person, an ideal, or like a group of people, whatever, and chooses it to be a legacy. And at the end of the turn, that person then will make an event or scene based on that legacy they've created. And at the end of, when it comes back to me being the legacy person again, so Kyron's next turn, I would choose to either continue to expand on that legacy or choose a new one from what was brought out that turn. Everybody will have a legacy, so every turn, the person above or to the right of the person who is the lens will always do the legacy thing. And each person has a different legacy. So I'm going to choose the gatekeepers.
Ooh.
I think.
Okay.
All right.
I am going to put before the Kratikin mutiny. The Awakening of the Gatekeepers.
Yeah.
The Elven Assembly.
Ooh.
The remnants of the Humanity Core of Elven Heritage. Seek out and activate Titans that were dormant before. To aid in their
Not to jerk that around, but the last Titan, I guess, is then not like a literal last Titan.
Right.
I felt like he
That's
was
just
like
a
the
title.
last.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last like actual threat. The other ones were dormant.
Gotcha.
If that's okay. I mean, if does
No,
that
it
go with
works.
Yeah,
rules?
that
That's
works.
consistent with
Yeah.
your like Great Awakening thing from the beginning too.
To aid in their fight for independence. All right. And so that will be my, I'll put my legacy down here. Shady ankle bottoms is the gatekeepers. There we go.
Excellent.
So our next lens will be Mr. E, and he will pick a new focus when we play next. So I would like to. Oh, it's right on the dot, dude. That was at
Yeah,
midnight.
that's
Boom.
awesome.
Right on
And
Boom.
we still gotta do the wrap up. And
Yeah, well,
everything, but
whatever.
Yep.
Stop it, Eric. Now you're gonna ruin my fun.
Minutes.
So
matter,
thank
damn
you
it.
for joining us. This was basically our first little bit of the Microscope game, and we'll probably be playing it on and off. I don't know if we play on and off, if we play it nonstop. I don't know. We're gonna play it though.
We're doing
And
faces
we're
again,
gonna make a
guys,
world.
by the way.
We're doing faces.
Yeah, faces
What
are
kind
being
of face
streamed
should I make?
again. Yeah. Oh, right.
Anyway, that was a stupid joke. You destroyed my train of thought. Oh, okay,
Good.
yeah, we're going to be doing this going forward. Next week, we're going to have Jeffrey W. Ingram on the show, and we're going to talk about world building and his process. He is the mastermind between behind the world of Gardul. He's an author. He does the World Builders Anvil podcast. You should check it out. It's really great. I've listened to quite a few episodes and really his world building process is pretty great. But he'll be on the show, and we're going to talk with him about all that, which really fits nicely with what we're doing here, and the sort of world building
Yeah.
aspect that we're into. So again, I mean, we just had this conversation, but join the Discord.
Do it.
And be
Do
our
it, do it,
friends,
do it.
and come watch our other shows.
Mm-hmm.
But until next time,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.